Alright. Hater. Oh, actually, it's kind of like early morning stream for me this time. Because now I just kind of woke up like half an hour ago. So it's time for my warm-ups. Time to do my artistic stretches. Because today I gotta finish at least 2 illustrations. Who knows, I might actually make this one of them. Did I watch the new Spider-Verse trailer? No? There's a new trailer? What did I miss? Oh, okay. Oh, literally the news. Okay, I'm leaving this for later because I'm gonna. Holy crap, that's awesome. I did not even notice it yet. Holy shit. Oh, that's some fucking great news. One of the few cartoons of Marvel that I just like binged about, I think 10 times now at least. Oh, good times to be a Spidey fan, I guess. I mean, the way things are going, I might just become one. No, it's the same piece, just proceeding with it. When's the next volume of Samsung coming out? Let me check my schedule when it's done. It's always like that. It's not gonna be anytime soon. It's still under construction. Because I do massive ass fucking graphic novels, and those take a while. But they tend to be a worthwhile reading experience, at least. Pretty much everything I do, like, I kind of had to give up on the standard issues format because well, comic book stores just weren't carrying any of them. So it's just like, well, that's just a waste of time and money. So I had to swap to a more drastic format. It's been working great for me, though. Although that was a long time ago. I wonder what it would be like if I tried it now. Probably wouldn't be much of a difference. I might actually try it with Achilles Shield Maidens. I haven't kind of thought of trying it with, well, just doing it with Death Vigil, where I would do Volume 2 and publish it in issues once I'm about to publish it, but that's just more for the people who kind of like collecting issues and have and collected the first arc. But beyond that, I don't know. Well, no, not that many books a year, but generally there's gonna be at least, at the very least, one, but often two books a year when all the other books are concerned. Although in 2022 I might actually pull off three. There already is a continuation of that video. It's done through my Patreon. In fact, next month the next update is supposed to release. Oh yeah, of course, Linda also makes. So yeah, if with her books, yeah, that actually gets to two books or three big books. Will there be a print of that visual? Yeah. Everything I do is intended to go to print at some point. Same as with Shield Maiden, same as the Queen with the Queen and the Woodborn. Fine print is already in print. Goddamn cursed book. What am I drawing? I am drawing a sort of a kind of a promo illustration for my webcomic, The Queen and the Woodborn. It's kind of warming up for the day because I got a lot of drawing to do today of illustrations, and just kind of getting myself into the mood. Yeah, I need more coffee. Ooh. How's the response been to fine print from book people? Oh, I would like to say it was amazing, but the problem is the fine print kind of got fucking tripped over by distribution. Because not even sorry, in Diamond Comics, so first with fine print, like we had the book properly ready on time. It was all fucking done, no problem. And then we had printer problems. So we had to change the printer, which delayed the book for 2 years. Not year, fucking 2 weeks, but it felt like years. Uh, which caused me a great deal of frustration. And then, to compile the issues, on the week where it was supposed to be released finally after the printer issues, the distributor gets hit by a ransomware attack. So they kind of deliver just part of their shipments because their files are fucked. And so now fine print is delayed on Amazon and other such places and like crazy because, well, they couldn't deliver it properly. So now people are waiting on the shit that they pre-ordered for so long ago. And I'm just like, oh no, this is fine. Print. So yeah, fucking cursed book. But people who read it, fucking seem to love it, which is a great sign, but a small comfort right now, considering just how just cursed the whole goddamn thing was so far. It's a good one. Hey, Piscus. This is less doing facial proportions and more just kind of searching for them because brain isn't active fully yet, so it's just... I'm just feeling things out. I'm gonna really need to get that coffee though. Because I've already destroyed the first cup and my body's like, yes, we had one cup. What about the second cup, the third cup, the fourth cup, the fifth cup? What I'm saying is my body is just three hobbits in a trench coat. I'll take it there. Is DA still my main platform? Yeah, kind of more or less. Well, I mean, technically Patreon is at this point just because there I can just post everything without, having to censor a bunch of things. Because the way, Sunstone is progressing right now, it's about to get to like real fucking steamy. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Between the shit that Ali and Alan now start progressively increasing the heat on the attic stuff. And then after that, with Volume 9, a lot of the action moves into the BDSM Club Crimson, and Alan and Marion start being a thing. Like, it's just gonna get like real fucking spicy, okay? Not even gonna lie. And that means at some point for DeviantArt, there's gonna be just a big old pile of like, well, I can't show this, I can't show this, I can't show this. While it's kind of story relevant, because I'm contextually trying to explain to you how these idiots are raising the stakes and to an unhealthy level. So it's just gonna be, just gonna at some point I'm gonna fucking have pages of Sunstone just with just a big sign over them, just like imagine. Just I'm gonna leave all this to your imagination. Yeah, right. Yes. Three hobbits in a trench coat. A comic story by Schnitzel Sidekick. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta get myself some coffee, so I'm gonna go there and back again, okay? What do you mean, was that a dad joke? Of course it's a dad joke. Come on, some of you aren't new to my streams. Mm. 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 No, with my published work, I was never really told that I can't show or do anything. Generally, they just tend to be interested in to what degree, to what amount of erect penises are shown, because apparently that's the measuring stick. Yeah, alright. To what rating the book gets for maturity. Whether or not it's mature or full-on adult. How hard are we adulting in this book, you know? But I was never told, like, for my creator-owned stuff, I was never told, you know, you can't show that on a comic page. Hey, Galen. Oh yes, Japan, that's smart. Take a really fucking complicated angle with a layered expression and just start off the day with that. It's amazing. You're a smart man. You've thought this through. What's that? A nano smile under a weird ass angle? Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna jump out of the bed, pop one coffee, and it's like I'm good to go. Ay. Sometimes I really am my own worst enemy. Worst shit is like, even if I wanted to kind of take a reference for this, it's like I actually have to make my own, because finding a reference for a specific angle with a specific expression is hard enough. But the worst part also is like so many models can't fucking smile honestly to save their lives. Nothing against them. It's just like when they can't, like, for some reason, you know, smiles on pics on photos tend to be kind of unsettling. Yeah, of course it's the Woodburn on the left. I'm gonna guess that you weren't keeping up with the webcomic, but yes. So, so I'm gonna go with they won't produce gremlins on their own on the count of, you know, technology not being quite there yet. But whether or not they're gonna go for an adoption, I'm gonna leave that to the for the end of the story. Don't worry, you'll have a better binge later. I'm slowly but surely turning into the goddamn Netflix of comics. Yeah, this is not really working that well. And I think I know where the problem is. Liquefy when you just don't feel like fucking overpainting. Okay, now her head is too small. Amazing. Man, if only there was something I could do about that, huh? First things first. Her nose is a little bit too far jutting forward, so I'm gonna get that under control. Because she does have a bit sharper features. So it's kind of funny to get everything under control and under an angle at the same time. That's fun. Do I have any advice for artists who are trying to make their own comic? You're gonna have to be way more specific about what kind of advice you're after. I have tons of advice, you know. Look both ways when crossing the road is one of them, but it's just, you know, when it comes to comics, like, there's so much stuff to cover because, you know, most important, I guess, would be the first one is just be ready to fail multiple times. Failure makes for a good foundation for a success, you know, and you need quite a bit of it. Very rarely is the first comic gonna be a success. It can happen, but don't be discouraged when the failure happens, because, well, it's supposed to. You know, we're all just people. We're all fuck ups. One of the hardest things, really, to make a comic, you know, that will make or break a comic is just the fact that when you're a no-name, when you're just starting, it's very hard to find an audience, which is why, if there is one very important piece of advice I would advise at this day and age, make it a webcomic. Get an audience. It's gonna be at your starting stage of things. It's gonna be more important than any money, because money will come if you're good and if you're persistent, and if you know, don't tell your audience to go fuck themselves. You know, in a serious way. I tell my audience to go fuck themselves generally, often in my streams, but that's more like when just Squeo drops in and says something. You know, so this is me just baiting right now. But no, that's really what it comes down to. Like, you kind of have to, you have to understand that you have to temper your expectations of success, but never give up on success. You know what I mean? Good. Trust me, there's an audience for every kind of content, for every kind of a book. It's just a matter of whether or not you do a good job with it. That's a good book is a good book, you know. Hell, if I had it in me, I'd do a full-on porn book. I just don't have the patience. Hey, what's up? Because what I was saying is, I would do a porn book if I had it in me, uh, but I would do a good one. You know, I would do do the porn book where people would start kind of embarrassingly laughing at the fact that they read it, but they can't stop talking about it because it's fucking good. You know, and that will get more people to embarrassingly go, I might just check it out, you know. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to is a good book sticks with people. It gets them hooked. It gets them interested. It makes them want more of that book. So, you know, don't give up on the idea of making a good book. Bigfoot is a baby Kong. I mean, you're technically not wrong. Yeah, if that's kind of how I start every book as well. I just make a bunch of concepts. I make a bunch of little strips. Make a bunch of kind of tests for characters, and I basically check if people like it. Because at the end of the day, you know, I can make any kind of a book, but what really is important is whether or not that book is going to find its audience. For instance, right now I'm making a giant robot team book as well, and it's hard for it to find an audience. It's the engagement tends to be on the low end of things, and it's kind of one of those things. It's like if I notice that trend continuing, I'm just gonna drop the book because I got other books that actually do get engagement, do get an audience, and that's also something you gotta be ready for. You gotta be ready for to kind of kill a thing that's not working. Doesn't matter how much you like it. If you want to succeed, you're gonna have to be harsh to yourself. Uh, if your goal is just to have fun and do what you want to do, that's a different thing. Or then do what your heart tells you. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, this is kind of it's a harsh line of work. You kind of have to be ready to make some sacrifices. We make a lot of them, really. And sometimes you have to be ready to kill off your favorite works because, it's not finding an audience. But then one day you're gonna find a book that just works, clicks for you, clicks for your audience, and you're good to go. Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of people have fallen for the Sunstone booby trap. Oh my god, there's gonna be boobies, and now you're hooked. By the way, that's Linda's term for it. Laughed my ass off when she first said it. Well, just keep it honest. Keep it honest. Don't forget that in order to make compelling characters, you have to make them fuck ups. In the same way that everybody is a fuck up. Uh, which means you can't be afraid of making your characters be wrong, making your characters say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, while remembering that at some point that needs to come back to them. You're still writing a piece of escapist fiction, which means there's often a reason for you putting a thing in a book. Like, also, can't forget to make your characters genuinely flawed. I don't mean flawed as in I care too much. I mean flawed as in, I have preconceived notions about things that are going to fucking slap me in the face at some point in this story. It is what it is. You have to remember that you're supposed to be writing people. It's something that a lot of people tend to sometimes forget. They kind of dig themselves into this trap of well, this is a person that I'm writing, but they're kind of they have to stand for a group. No, they have to stand for themselves. They're a character. They're supposed to be an individual. That's what you're going after. Never forget that. You're writing a person. And as a person, they're a fuck up. You just need to define what kind of a fuck up they are. because that's the thing. Most interesting characters have actual genuine flaws. Because flaws can be worked through. Perfect example right now. I'm writing Sunstone new arc, and one of them is a character who is a lesbian, and she is genuinely biphobic. That's an actual real flaw, like genuine flaw. And at some point, I've had people going like, I could do with the biphobia in this story." It was like, you know what she said is biphobic. And I'm like, yes, because, and hear me out, she's biphobic. Her flaw isn't that she cares too much or she just can't stop buying these books, you know? She has an actual issue. Through the story, you understand why she has that issue without me excusing the issue. And yes, that issue fucks her over. But also, crazy thing, I have her grow from that. I have her at some point fucking get help, fucking get some therapy, sort her shit out because she realizes that she's literally sabotaging her own relationships that way. And yeah, you know, it's you're supposed to make every character an individual. They're supposed to be a pile of their own fucking messes and neuroses and whatever the fuck not, and their own virtues. Never forget that. Like they do have to have a certain set of virtues that, you know what, makes them redeemable, makes you at some point go like when they go on a redemption, you go, good for you, you know, because well, otherwise, what's the point? If you make an unlikable character that doesn't fucking do anything, it's just flaws, and then, you know, has no like when you're trying to redeem them, it's just like they're still the same fucking asshole. No, I never insert myself or my wife into comics. That's pointless. Like, what would I do with myself? Oh, hey, let me just write about this idiot that's sitting around drawing all the time, just doing nothing else, just drawing and writing and talking about drawing and writing and just being. It's like it's a boring fucking like even if I drew even if I made a comic that's along the lines of something like Bakuman that's about comic creators, right? I'd still not fucking based on myself. Have I heard of the movie The Green Knight? I've heard of it, haven't watched it. I know it's some sort of Arthurian tale. Hey, Mauricio. Or Mauricio. Hmm. I'll stop it, Reno. How do I do lightning like this? Oh, I'll just do it. Basically, it's kind of a math at this point where it's like, you know, I've kind of set up my ideas of what the light sources will be. I kind of have a singular kind of a light source coming from slightly below and illuminating both characters from the like the camera side, shall we say. Then I have another additional light source that's a bit more intense, which is the apple. That's gonna kind of give them a warm light, and then I kind of have the dark sun behind them. That's gonna give them like a sort of a rim light once I get to that stage of rendering. And then once I've kind of set up that light setup, then I just kind of go and follow through. Just keep in mind of what's illuminating what are the angles, and then just cast my shadows, shade my forms. Like one of the things that helps is I used to do like stuff from references back in the day, where I would do drawings with like that had like illumination from below, so it kind of got me to memorize how the shapes work and how the shadows are cast. That combined with studying of anatomy have kind of mapped it all in my head to a degree where I can now just it's 20 years of practice. Like if I couldn't figure it out by now, like I've been practicing wrong. Mm, 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 mm. Or that the lightning elf as well. Yes, he's right there with the anatomy goblin. They're usually traveling in pairs. Mm, mm. Oh wait, what's that? The composition unicorn is here as well. I almost forgot. Mm. See, you're not supposed to eat the anatomy goblin. You're supposed to you know, have a conversation with it. Anatomy Goblin can impart its ancient anatomy goblin magics to you, and then you can do anatomy. Mm, mm, mm. I really am going for some sort of like a fairy tale mood with this piece. Mm. Eh. My favorite thing is when some people when they saw me like do this comic and they saw uh, the freaking concept artworks and development artworks and they were like, "Oh man, they would look so good together." And I'm just like, I mean, it's really just I don't have a specific way of doing things. I just kind of do whatever works for the moment. Sometimes it's soft light, sometimes it's overlight, sometimes it's hard light, pin light, linear light. Oh, not pin light is shit. Multiply and screen also. Multiply is really good for shadows when you want to do shadows and also add color to them. This is the cool thing with multipliers. You can, you make yourself a nice multiply layer, and then once you've done with your global illuminations, you can just add more cast shadows, and you can really do some fun stuff. 'Cause, like stuff when you're working with skin, you can have a more reddish transition on things. And if you set your brush to multiply also, while working on a multiplier layer, it's gonna add a bit more tonal darkness into it, which is always nice. So you can actually kind of stack stronger shadows wherever you need them to. Because yo dog, I heard you like multiply, so we put multiply on your multiply so that you can multiply while you multiply. Have any exercises you recommend to get better at lighting? It's hard to find. It's hard to figure out specifically exercises. Let's see. Uh, I mean, usually people would just suggest, kind of drawing for references and kind of doing, what's it called? Just basic shapes, and then you illuminate them, and then you draw that. I guess that is technically the best way, but it's also kind of boring. So honestly, get yourself some photos of people with differently illuminated faces, differently illuminated shadows, and then draw them while kind of trying to figure out the logic of it. As in, when you see an illumination, um, try and check where the light is cast and how it affects things. Keep an eye out for the bounced light as well. Bounced light is very it's a crucial element of actual realism, so that's very nice. Um, how could you properly practice? Like, this is the problem with me, right? I'm self-taught, so it's kind of like I don't really have an answer that's kind of methodical because for me it's just like answer to everything is like, well, how about you paint more? It's like stupid, It's like it's not really an effective answer, right? So there are actual really good light and shadow tutorials online. So honestly, just look up YouTube for some tutorials on light and shadow, and don't try not to limit yourself to one person's tutorials. Always, when it comes to anything, try and go through multiple people, just so that you kind of find the ones that actually work for you. Oh, yeah, anytime. And it wasn't much of a help, but no one person can answer everything. You know what I mean? It's like this is one of those questions where one could really use some actual formal education, and unfortunately, my methods may be effective, but methodically they're just, oh my God. It's been a minute. How am I going? Well, it's going alright. I had so much dirty jokes right now about that, but I decided to be a mature adult person. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, no, it's just the fact is nobody has all the answers. I try to answer the ones, where I can formulate my thoughts into, something that's useful. But if I can't, fuck it, find somebody else. Yeah, there are no, I don't really, I haven't found any secret weapons about this. My secret weapon has been stubbornness. Are you stubborn enough? Artists hate him because he found the secret weapon. What is it? He's really fucking stubborn. He just keeps failing over and over again, and just makes his success that way. Cool. Hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That is the secret weapon. Do the damn work. But here's the thing, like if there was an advice that I could have used early on, just for my own sanity's sake, it's this. Be prepared to fail over and over and over and over again, because your success will be built on the foundation of your failures. uh, that would have kept me from cracking so many times. Because you get into this mindset where you're like, it has to work. Why doesn't it work? God damn it, why won't it work? Well, it turns out it's not ready to work. You're not ready for it to work either. you're gonna fail. You know, you're gonna keep on failing. It's gonna look like shit so many times over and over and over again, and that's fine. It's supposed to. That's the one thing I wish I fucking had somebody fucking tell me back in the day. Like, don't worry, it's supposed to look like shit. It's like, because you are shit, yeah. But here's the thing, you're a little less shit today than you were yesterday. It keeps getting better, you know. Then one day you're gonna find yourself fucking leveling up by leaps and bounds while not even understanding why, and that's because all the shit that you've learned has now created a powerful fucking combination of knowledges that all of a sudden is much greater than the sum of its parts, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can do magic now. Yeah, there are no get good quick tricks or hacks. It's just, it's naive. Mind you, finding a lot of sources to learn from will speed you the fuck up. There is no going around that. Like, having somebody actually point stuff out to you and, you know, help you crack the code, yeah, that will speed you up. Still not gonna make you understand, make you know and be able to replicate it, but something in your brain is gonna click at that point. It's gonna start integrating itself with other knowledge that you have, and in the long term, it's gonna be a gain, a massive one. But you know, even that's not gonna do it immediately. But the worst part about this whole thing is it's not even that simple that where it's like, well, you just get yourself more time to do it. Cause at some point it's not about time, it's about giving your brain time to actually process things. Cause most of the times like you're gonna end up in this frustrating kind of a slump where you're like, oh man, I'm not learning anything. But what you don't understand is that you already learned it, and now your brain is actually kind of busy somewhere in the background compiling data. Like it's assembling shit. You're not gonna see the like you have planted that seed, it needs to grow, and that's gonna do it on its own, whether you wanted it or not. And that's the frustrating times. Like I've discovered over time, it's like that's the fucking most annoying thing ever because it's like the knowledge is there, you've absorbed it. It's just not ready to be applied because there's like, you know, there's paperwork to be done in the back of your head for that, and it's just like it's a waiting period, and you're not getting any better during it. So you know, just play some video games. Because again, speaking from experience, I used to kind of have this mindset where it's like, well, maybe if I just did it more, it's like nothing. And then one day I just wake up after fucking spending a month playing an MMO and just like, well, I am actually now much better at the art thing. I don't know why, but okay. And that's the whole thing where the brain, you already have learned the thing. Your brain just needed a time to, for itself to actually compile all the knowledge. And that's like the most frustrating part of learning these skills is, because they're so fucking complicated that it doesn't matter what you do, you can't short circuit it. Like it doesn't work like that. Like you are doomed for a bit of a waiting period every goddamn time. When you're learning something, when you're adapting, when you're like you can be able to you'll be able to kind of replicate a thing and go like, oh, I guess I learned it, and then you keep failing at it later on, and then one day it actually just clicks in because it's been properly compiled and it's gonna do the job now for you. Oh, I've taken long breaks sometimes. I've taken breaks for weeks sometimes. When a new Destiny expansion comes in, it ain't gonna level itself. But I always find after that I come back stronger because while I was fiddling with my light levels and shit, something happened in the brain. Brain was doing its own thing. I was like, "Don't worry, buddy, got you covered." To come here often into the land of the dead. Oh, only when I die. It's fine. Don't worry about it. She's like, hey there, want some apples? See ya, Art. Hmm. Okay, technically she's been dying to get away from her at that point in time. Well, actually, no, she's just been dying from leukemia, but that's a whole other thing. Hmm. Nah, she got leukemia. Well, she doesn't anymore. She got better. And doctors will hate her, but she used just this one simple trick. Dies and gets reborn and reconstituted by a goddess of death who exchanged her gift of controlling ice and winter for the return of this woman into the world of the living for 7 years. Now, if they could put that in a pill, damn. Just, uh, you know, you're not wrong. Like she does kind of get eats the apple of divine fruit that just kind of fixes her shit. So Mm. 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 Listen, I only draw on Picarto when I really, really, really want to get my freak on. Also known as Freakarto. Stop. I'm just gonna stop now. This needs to stop. Mm. What would happen if I made pie out of those golden apples? I don't know, but the dude from American Pie would have a blast. Mm. 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 This is usually the stage of my work where I start experimenting with intensities of illuminations and just trying to figure out how to create the best focal point for an image. So now, this is the fuck around and find out stage. Yes, that's a technical term. This is science we're doing here, damn it. Mm. Mm. Gonna save this one. Oh yeah, I might do that. Yeah, sounds like a plan. Give me 1 second. I need more coffee. Cup number 3. Gotta get that morning good and started. Also, what's the secret to my success? Ungodly and unhealthy, possibly lethal amounts of coffee. Let's go. I'm back with the magical potion. Now, I got a big old cup of, big old jug of it, you know, I just pour the milk and stuff. We make that shit by the gallons. Also, one of the neat little things that I can do on this images, I can show you a small little trick on how to control the light intensity. For instance, your cast light can't be stronger than the thing that's actually casting the light, right? Like once I do the thing, like this whole golden apple thing is gonna be like, I'm gonna have it just be like the brightest point on the, well, it's gonna be very bright is what I'm saying. Like it's gotta look downright magical, glowy apple. But then I'm having all these areas that are like, you know, let's say by the end I'm gonna have the golden apple look like this, right? It's gonna be without rendering right now, but let's say this is the intensity, you know. I'm gonna have some rendering on it at the end. But this is kind of matching this intensity. So what I can do is I can do another, I will duplicate them. And I will take like a really light yellow color. And I'm gonna basically I'm gonna take my gradient on this, lock the opacity, and just do this. I'm gonna use this as another multiply layer to control the amount of how much this can go up to white, because now it can never reach into full white color, so that means it guarantees that this is gonna be the brightest point. Yeah, cold coffee. I'm a big fan of cold coffee. Love the stuff. Gonna just desaturate it a little bit because I don't need that much yellow on the thing. And I should probably also drop this underneath it as well, just so that it can get controlled. Yeah, I drink it with milk. Yeah, and now that I have that set up, yeah, I can illuminate shit to my heart's content. Without ever being at risk that, this is gonna get brighter than this. Do I ever flatten these layers? So yeah, that's the idea. I tend to flatten them as soon as possible so that they kind of get out of the way so that I can work directly back on the base layer. Hey, realness. I thank you, realness. And the cool thing about this piece that I'm doing right now, just like Princess Bride, it contains mostly dead people. YouTube is because yeah, I'm gonna be wrapping the stream also because I'm gonna get some breakfast. I'm gonna leave this as is for now. I'm probably gonna do the rest of it off stream because at this point it's just fiddling with details and that's just not really the most amusing thing to watch. Yeah, the blend brush, it just works. So anyways, thank you for being here. I'm gonna be off now.